What's up, guys? CryptoSavy here. I hope everyone's having a fabulous day. We are going to be taking a look at Bitcoin and LITECOIN and where we might be headed. Also, I'm going to add in gold, silver, and take a look at the Dow Jones that I believe is in a huge bubble. We're going to take a look at all of that here, so make sure you stick around for the whole video. Also, I want to remind you guys there's a free Discord group in the description below the video. Definitely check it out. There's also a link to my wife's webpage, inkyyourimage.com. Check it out for some cool crypto gear. We're going to be doing a giveaway, a free t-shirt giveaway on Sunday. We'll be picking a random comment from a video throughout the week, so don't forget to leave your comments down below. Give the video a giant thumbs up, and make sure you subscribe if you like the content. Let's get on with the video. All right, guys, as always, I want to remind you I'm not a financial advisor. This is not trading advice, investment advice, or anything of that nature. There is a disclaimer scrolling on the bottom. We're going to take a look at the headlines first, just to get a feel of what the media is telling us. Bitcoin price to hit 50,000 after halving. Bitcoin is a pyramid scheme. Prominent economist explains. We've heard that before. Bitcoin price remains in bearish trend. Can BTC surge to, I'm assuming that's all-time highs. I'm not going to go into all that. Bitcoin kicks off 2020 more secure than ever as hash rate goes up. Bitcoin price will crash below 1,000 in 2020, Zengo CEO says. Max Payne, Bitcoin boredom incoming before bull market begins. So we're getting a lot of mixed signals here. Let's take a look at Crypto Fear and Greed Index. We are at 39. We're up 2 points from yesterday. Pretty interesting. As you guys know, this is not, I don't know how seriously we can take all this, or, but it's still another piece of data to look at. Let's look at the longs versus shorts on Bitfinex, BitMEX, and Binance combined. The longs are at 61.39%. Shorts are at 31.6 or 38.61, excuse me. And I know a lot of people are expecting a long squeeze and a dump, which is definitely possible. We're going to take a look at all that in the charts here in a minute. Let's take a look at Dow Jones real quick. Looking at the Dow Jones Industrial, that looks like a bubble if I have ever seen a bubble. We could still go higher, depends on how much money they want to print and pump into it. But it's starting to look a lot like Bitcoin at 20K. There's probably a lot of people FOMOing in right now, and sooner or later this thing is going to dump, in my opinion. When is anybody's guess. Let's throw some lines on here and see what I'm looking at. Looking at this as a rising broadening wedge that we broke out of. If we took a measured move off of that, from where we broke out, that would get us right up to the point we're at now. And then if we look at this, you see these two trend lines I have here. Look at this as a megaphone, and those could break up. Obviously, this one has broken up. And if that's the case, we could be looking at as high as, and again, guys, these are just estimated measured moves. We don't really know what's going on with the market there, but it could get as high as 35,000 before come crashing down. Again, we'll have to see what happens, but eventually I think a lot of this money that when it starts dumping is going to go into gold, silver, and Bitcoin. And that's just my opinion. Do your own research. Let's look at gold. We take a look at gold here, and it does look like a bull flag that is breaking out on gold, and we have some measured moves here. Let's put on our lines here, take a look at what's going on. There's a few different measurements I have here. Let's start out with this smaller one here. If we measure just from the breakout of this pennant here, took a measured move from there to where we've broken out, and that gets us up to about the 1580 range. Now the next measured move would be measuring this whole thing here from this area here where we broke out, measuring this as a flagpole. Damn it. Measuring this as a flagpole, bring it up to the top here, and that gets us up to about the 1740 range. Now, the next thing I want to look at is looking at this as a, I guess it could be looked at either way, but I'm more or less looking at this as a rising triangle or ascending triangle. And the measured move off of that would be measuring the width of the widest point of the triangle. And that would be starting over here, coming down. It would be somewhere in this vicinity if we brought this line down further. But let's take a look at that at the breakout. And that lines up in the same area at that 1740. So that's a definite possibility, guys. The question is, will we see the market start collapsing before that or what? Let's take a look at silver. If we take a look at silver here, silver's starting to look bullish too. It looks like we had a double bottom down here around the $13 range. If we put our measurements on here real quick, and let's take a look at these smaller moves first. If we zoom in here, zoom in so you can see it. This measured move, being looking at this as a falling wedge to where we broke out, would get us around the $19.70, somewhere in that area. The other measured move would be measuring this whole thing as a flagpole and measuring from the breakout of the bull flag would get us up to around that 22.64. One more thing I want to look at. This is a possibility, guys, that this here is an Adam and an Eve with the neckline right here at $20.83, somewhere in there. It's not exact, but if we took a measured move, and I have that drawn out right here, from that neckline to the tip of the Adam, bring it up to, if we were to break this 21 around the $21 range, I'd say. If we were to break that, we could be looking at $28 silver. So these are just estimates, guys, with measured moves. So just something I'm looking at. If the Dow starts crashing, I do believe that gold, silver, and Bitcoin are most likely going to benefit from it. And let's look at Bitcoin on the monthly. As you can see, we're still in this formation. Volume's still declining. And we are still getting support on this 21 EMA, which is around the 7,080 range. It differs on different exchanges. Our 200 EMA is down here, which a lot of people are saying we got to touch. I don't believe we have to, but that's around the $4,500 range. But that's rising, so the longer it takes, the higher it goes if we were to go down and touch it. Now, if you guys watched my video the other day, you'll know what this is. If not, basically what I did, I took a Fibonacci retracement from when this bull market started to the tip, and this rise we got last year to 14,000 hit the 0.618 exactly, and now I have taken the Fibonacci retracement and measured this move right here where we had our rally last year, and where that would retrace to the 0.618 lines up right around the $10,000 range. So that could look something like this. You know, we may finally break out of this flag, come back down, test this for support, come up here. If we broke there, I do have a measured move, but keep in mind it could end up looking something like this all the way to the end of this before breaking out. I also have this trend line on the bottom down here, which would line up with the 200 EMA, which is right now, like I said, around the $5,000 range. But if we were to come back down and test this trend line, which I have drawn off of all these wicks down here, if it was to come down here, that could be the end of February, could be around the 4,900. If we are to break through this and break below our 7,050 range. We'll take a look at all this stuff in a second, but I do want to look at the measured move, measuring this as a triangle. And if we were to break out, it would be up in right in this range. And what I did here was took this trend line, the darker trend line here, and brought it up. So, you know, we could come all the way up to let's see, if we were to, this would be around $30,000 around the end of next year. If that was the case, we came up to test this from here, and this would be, you know, being a rising channel. We'll see what happens there. That's just, like I said, just a longer term look at it. Look at the weekly RSI. And we've looked at this a few times. I will go back into it and show you guys. This red line here has been support forever. It's been a very important line. Back here in the bear market from 2013-14, we broke down, capitulated below this, and popped back above it in 2015, came back down, tested it for support, got support, and then our bull run began. I believe that's most likely the area we're in now. I'm going to take these lines off of here, get them out of our way so it clears it up a little bit. But as you can see, 2018, we capitulated past that line, broke back up through it, came back, tested it for support. So in my opinion, guys, we continue up from here. Not to say we don't have a small dip back down, but I honestly think the bottom is in this correction. And I've talked about that before, but we'll take a look at it. So if I look at, let's go, we're in the daily right now. So I believe this was a stop point down here, because anyone that was long most likely had their stops just under this wick here. And we came down below it, and it didn't stay there long, maybe an hour or two, if that, and popped back up. Basically, I think what happened here is we stopped out the longs and liquidated more longs and got this little pump to the upside. Now, I do want to show you my worst case scenario here, guys. We do take a look at the bearish and the bullish case. But if we're to break down past this the 7,050 range, chances are we could be going down to these lower lows that people are talking about. The 5,400 is the 0.786 retracement. So that's the lowest I think it'll go, but I do have this trend line on the bottom. If we did come all the way back down here, this would be around March, the end of February, beginning of March, the $4,800 range, $4,760 to $4,800. If we do break down here, that would be our absolute lowest. I know a lot of people are calling for a lot lower, but I don't see it happening. These would be the lowest targets I see us going to if we break this range. But yeah, as you can see, I do have a rising wedge in here that if we do continue to get support down here and come up and test the top of this support line, that could be around the $8,500 range. It's definitely a possibility, guys. We'll take a look at that here in a little bit. Let's look at the RSI. And taking a look at the RSI, as you guys know, we've been watching this falling channel in yellow. Looks like we might come up to test the top again. Let's see if we see any divergence in here. And not really. All this is lining up pretty well with what's going on. But definitely the area to watch, guys. And again, this is a no trade zone. I've been saying that for the last couple days. If you are interested in trading on leverage, I will leave a Bybit tutorial up top. I don't suggest you jump in with a bunch of money and try trading. I suggest you use the testnet first. You can play without real money with the real action of the market. So it's a good way to get started. And then if you decide you do want to trade, put in a little bit of money, not more than you're willing to lose. And definitely don't do high leverage at first, and see how it works out. You're not going to jump in. I see a lot of people knocking on Bybit and, knocking on trading. And most of the time, them guys that are doing that probably traded and probably got wrecked because they didn't want to take the time to learn it. And so they just talk bad about it because they're salty that they got wrecked. But if you actually take some time, learn the markets, learn some technical analysis, you can do very well at trading. It is possible, but it does take time, and you'll probably lose money learning. I mean, that's the cost of anything. Anything costs you, right? You go to college, you pay to learn. You trade, you pay tuition by losing at first, and that's what makes you a better trader. You learn from your mistakes. But anyways, enough of that. So if we were to come up here, retest this, that's probably going to most likely be right around this 55 EMA on the daily, which is around the 75.70 range. And then, of course, we have this resistance at 7,700. If that does break and we can get up to the $8,000 range, come back down, test 77 for support, we could be headed up to that $8,500 range. If not, well, if we did break this, that would be breaking the top of this falling channel here. And most likely, as you can see, I have a white channel also. If we're to break out of this, we're most likely going to come up and test this trend line. Now, if we get rejection here, we're going to probably come down and test this trend line. Let's, but like I said, these are the lowest lows I see possible. But anyway, let's go into the 4 hour. As you know, yesterday I did have this drawn as a possible symmetrical triangle with the red, but obviously it's not what happened. This could possibly be a descending triangle here. We're going to take a look at that. If we were to go up and retest the top of this, I believe it's going to be around the $7,400 range. But again, guys, if we go below this 7,050 range, then we're probably looking at these lower lows here. And here is a more immediate time frame. But if we did a measured move, measuring that as a descending triangle, and a break of that would get us most likely to around, right around the 6,400 range. Move this down a little bit. Somewhere in, yeah, the 6,400 range, right in that area. And coming back down to test the bottom of this trend line could be around the 62, 6,300, depending on where we hit it. Now, that's if we break the 70.50, guys. If we don't break the 70.50, we obviously got a nice bounce here. If we come up to retest the top of this, it's going to be around 74. And then the top of this channel here is going to be around 75. If we break the 74, let me go ahead and put a target in there. And this is analysis part, guys. This isn't what you trade off of. This is, I mean, you could use it to trade off of, but you have to be aware of what's going on in the market. You don't just watch somebody or pay for their VIP group and follow their trades. You will get wrecked. There is more to it than that. So don't get sucked into them guys that charge you ridiculous amounts of money for their VIP and stuff, and basically guarantee you that you'll do well. Obviously, that's a scam and bullshit. All you're doing is paying for their drug habits and gambling addiction. So looking at the red here in the RSI, we are within this rising channel in the red. We possibly, let me look at this real quick. All right, we had this falling channel here that we broke out of, came back down, tested it twice, and got support from it twice here. And then as you can see, I do have this falling channel in here. We could come back down to test the bottom of this red rising channel here. And if we do, that's probably most likely going to line up with the bottom of this, the 0.618. And mind you, we are still within this golden pocket area, which is in between the 0.618 and the 0.65. The 0.618, or I'm sorry, the 0.65 right now lies at almost about 6,890, right in that range. If that breaks, then we're looking at the 64.29. But like I said, right now I'm still watching the 7,050. I think that's key right now. This is really a no trade zone. You know, I might enter a small trade if it was to break. I'd enter a small long if it was to break 74, and I would put a stop loss just below. Definitely if it broke 76 or actually 77 and we got support there, I would definitely enter a long. If we broke below the 7,050 level, I would probably most likely enter a short and maybe get out of that around the 6,900, or start laddering out of it all the way to down here. But if I did do that, I would put a stop loss just above this bottom trend line here. So anyways, yeah, that's what we're looking at there. We'll take a look at, let's take a look at the longer term here. So this is the Brave New Coin Index. And if you look here from this bull run over here, we drew a line across where we came up, tested it once, broke it, broke through, went up here. Same thing, drew a line here, tested it once, broke through the next time. We've tested this once. I do believe it is possible. Like I said, if the bottom's in, this is most likely, and as you can see, it's riding this line down here, but it'll most likely look something like this, possibly. We'll see. And by 2020, the end of 2021, beginning of 2022, a lot of people have said it. It is definitely a possibility. Just by looking at the charts, could reach around the $300,000 range. It's definitely a possibility. Obviously, there's no guarantees. Nobody really knows what's going to happen. But I am a firm believer in Bitcoin, and I do believe it will get adopted. And people, the more people get to understand it, really know what it is, and actually look into it, I mean, it's amazing. Bitcoin is absolutely amazing sound money, guys. I do believe it'll be the like digital gold. I don't believe it's going to be spending money, but that's just my opinion. Let's look at LITECOIN. This is what I think you'll be spending every day. Again, just my opinion. Wow, what's going on, chart? So let's look at LITECOIN. All right. Same thing in LITECOIN. We're basically within this wedge here, which I don't, I would not be trading within this, but that's, you know, on you. I don't even trade LITECOIN. I just hold LITECOIN. But let's do some measured moves here. So if we were to come down, we broke out of this rising channel or falling channel in white right here, right? The measured move of that would be right up here at this neckline here, and that is around the $49 range. That would be the measured move out of here. But as you can see, I also have a rising broadening wedge in here, and the top of that channel meets up at the bottom of that wedge around 39.75. And if we were to break down past that 39.75, that's not the right one. Let me get the right target in here. Actually, I don't know what happened there. Let me do it this way. We'll shorten this up to do a measured move of the break. If we were to break down at that 39.75 range, I'd be looking for around the 34.50 as a target there, guys. And if we were to break up from there, that's going to be somewhere in the $50 range, somewhere in there. And that could be retesting the top of this bigger, I'll show you real quick, of this bigger trend line here. Let's clean this up a little bit. Get this off of here. Get this off of here. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at there. Like I said, no trade zone pretty much, guys, unless we break any of these key areas. But yeah, the key area to break here, I guess, to enter a good long, if you were to trade this, would be around the 49.50 range, most likely. And a short range below, if we broke through 39.75, I would most likely short that. But this is just my opinion. Like I said, not trading advice. I'm just sharing my thoughts with you guys. If you enjoyed the video, definitely click the CryptoSavy logo by my head to get you subscribed to the channel. Tick the notification bell to get you notified when I post new videos, and make sure you hit the all. Also, give it a giant thumbs up and leave your comments down below for a chance to win a free t-shirt. Also, let me know what you think about, do you think the Dow Industrial is going to crash? Do you think the money is going to go into gold, silver, and Bitcoin? What do you think? Let me know in the description or in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Have a great day.